What's up, everyone? This is the Next Tape podcast with Mikel
And Tanyka.
where we have conversations on different topics. So today we're doing our monthly series episode on our Netflix review
Mm-hmm.
month, I
Yep.
believe. And it's basically what we watch during the month of each month. So like like last month we watched like three or five shows or movies of Netflix or probably other streaming services, but it's mainly Netflix. So yeah. So how should we start this today, Tanika?
Well, usually we start with one of us talking about, the kind of like the top three ones that we want to discuss further.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Then we go into kind of the honorable mentions if we have it.
Right.
And then we kind of talk about like what's kind of to come in the
Mm-hmm.
month
Mm-hmm.
coming.
Yeah.
However, I do have one that's not coming out in September, but it's coming in October that I think has been pretty anticipated, and
Mm-hmm.
we finally have a date for it. So I'll be talking about that at the end. So, but yeah. So who
Yeah.
wants to start?
You start first
Okay.
this time. Yeah.
Okay. So let me bring up. Okay. So I think I kind of alluded to this a little bit. Um, uh last month. But I did watch Conversations with a Killer, the Son of Sam tapes, kind of similar. I don't know if it's necessarily the same like series, but they've done I think they are pretty similar to what they've done with Ted Bundy. They had one with Dahmer, they had one with Gacy as well, I believe. And
Mm.
so they have now this one with Son of Sam, or AKA David Berkowitz. Um, we did talk about him. I don't know if the episode came out already, but we did talk about this in like the 70s episode, but Crime in the 70s. But if you didn't listen to that episode or it hasn't come out yet, um, basically this was a man who was terrorizing New York in the 70s, mainly where was he? Not in like New York City or Manhattan or anything like that, but I believe I should remember where in New York, but anyways, he was terrorizing those neighborhoods, usually killing or shooting at people anyways. Not everyone died, but there was some, there were people who did die. And he would target whoever, um, and usually shoot them, whether it was in their car or there was one in front of their home. And yeah,
Mm.
if you kind of know the backstory of the Son of Sam, this is a person who claimed he was being possessed by um his neighbor's dog, hence Son of Sam. The man's name was Sam something. Sam Carr was his neighbor's name. Spoiler alert, that was all he was lying, but
Mm.
nonetheless, like he did do these crimes. What did I think
Mm.
of the documentary itself? It was actually really good. There was things I know the story of Son of Sam, but I do find I tend to be very visual, and the cases that I always seem to remember are the ones I've seen some form of documentary on, or like a Dateline episode or something like that. So kind of seeing this actually unfold in front of my eyes was helpful, and there was things like I just did not know before about him or just didn't remember about him or anything. So, and then obviously his victims. So, like I didn't realize there were any survivors. Like I just didn't remember
Mm.
that. So
Mhm.
I thought it was really good.
Mm.
Although this is supposed to be conversations with like a killer, That's
Right.
the trope. Um,
Right. Mm.
you I feel like I didn't hear from him as much as you
Mhm.
did with, like, Ted Bundy or some of the other ones I've mentioned, um, but it was still really good.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I also think the difference with this documentary versus, like, example, Ted Bundy's
Yeah.
was those were tapes done through the FBI because
Mhm.
Ted Bundy was one of the quote unquote subjects
Mhm.
that the behavioral unit was talking to kind of understand the mind of a serial killer.
Right.
And Son of Sam, or Dave Berkowitz, was one of those people as well. But for whatever reason, we kind of weren't hearing it from the perspective of like an FBI agent coming in and speaking to him. This was a reporter.
Mhm. Mhm.
So it was a little bit of a different feel than I found in the others. But other than that, I mean, I did like it. It was number 6 at the time I watched it, which I think was, like, earlier in the month.
Mhm.
Um, just kinda going through all the ones I watched here. Um, I don't know if I wanna talk about that one, hold on. Just kinda going through. I
Is
think
it?
there's one that we've both watched that I
Uh-huh.
think we can talk about separately, like, away from our 3,
Mhm.
that I think we can just kind of talk about separately. So, I'll leave it that.
Okay.
Um, if in case you know what I'm talking about. Um, so another one I watched was Fit for TV. This was the reality of The Biggest Loser. I'm sure a lot of us know the show The Biggest Loser. I've never watched
Yes
The
and no.
Biggest. No, I know the show, but I just never
Yeah.
watched the show, so
Mhm.
that's maybe what you meant. I know of it.
Mm.
I
Mm.
never watched it. I was never interested in watching it. I
Mhm. Mhm.
hated the concept of it, and I also hate um Jillian Michaels as well. Can't
Mm.
stand her, so I'm like, not for me.
Right.
Um,
Right.
so I didn't know any of the people that were gonna be interviewed for this documentary. Um, it was, I think, a really well done documentary.
Mhm.
You kinda had the because again, the whole thing with I mean, I can talk about this forever, but
Right.
the whole thing about, like, yo-yo dieting
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
this intense weight loss where you're losing, like, hundreds of pounds in, like, 6 months. It's proven that that is not a healthy way to lose weight, that the
Mhm.
chances are you're going to gain that back. So, this is kind of what a lot of these people were doing. Um, we're losing this mass amount of weight for a television show in
Mhm.
order
Mhm.
for them to win a prize at the end. And then obviously the coach which I didn't know the concept, but basically like they'd be split into teams between these 2 coaches, or personal trainers, quote unquote. I mean, they are personal trainers. I'm not gonna take that from them, but these personal trainers, Julian Michaels being one of them, and then the guy, I can't remember his name. And,
Mhm.
they would also kind of win. So it kinda had this, like, The Voice feel to it, where it's like you have your teams, and then whoever potentially wins the whole thing, like, it's like winning for your team. Um, but except these are people's health, right?
Mhm.
So they had one guy on here who, like, was a winner of, I think, season 8
Mhm.
of The Biggest Loser, and
Mhm.
he lost, like, crap ton of weight, like, a lot of weight. But when we see him present day, he's gained it all back and maybe even then some.
Mhm.
And it's like, that's the problem is you lose the weight, you lose all of this weight, and you're in the limelight for maybe a year or 2 after you win,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
then you're out of the spotlight and you're not understanding why you're putting back on the weight because
Mhm.
your metabolism is shot, right?
Right.
And when you're
Yeah.
kind of going through this, that's not improving. So it's just kind of like a quick fix kind of thing. So
Mhm.
it's sad to kind of see that, he said he's happy, you know, he's happy. He has a great marriage, great kids. I think he has grandkids now, but like he gained all this weight back. You had another woman on who lost the weight. She kept the weight off. Her story was interesting because it's kind of like when you're kind of going on a show like this, she says straight up to fix her marriage. And the kind of that was her main motivator because her husband clearly is an ass and was cheating on her. And their marriage just wasn't doing well.
Hmm.
But she goes on and she nearly dies because they have them, again, people who probably are not used to working out in number one, extreme heat, and number two, like long distance running. But this is what they have them do. Have them on a bus. You drop them off on the beach. The house that they're going to be living in is up ahead. So you have to run like, I don't remember how many miles, but it was a lot.
Hmm.
You have to run these miles in order to um, be able to get into the competition. This particular woman ends up collapsing. Um, wasn't sure she was going to be able to finish the race. She did, but then they had to airlift her to a hospital because like her organs were shutting down.
Hmm.
So these are the extreme things. I mean, she was also like she did come back and was able to compete, but she was eliminated because people just didn't like her. And I'm like,
Mm.
why? Like I don't understand why she was a quote unquote villain.
Mm.
But nonetheless, so you're kind of seeing these stories from these people's perspective. Most of them are saying, to hell with the show. Like the show was looking back as a horrible concept.
Hmm.
And there was one woman who came on, she lost scary amount of weight to the point where you could kind of tell on the personal trainers' faces, they're like, oh no. Like she potentially could be going the opposite way now, where
Right.
maybe she's, weight gain doesn't have to do with just because you eat too much.
Right.
That's a myth. It's a myriad of different reasons.
Mm.
Um, so whatever her reasons were for gaining weight, she went the other way and she potentially could have had maybe an eating disorder, or maybe she was, binging, or whatever the case may have been,
Hmm.
binging
Hmm.
and purging. Like she could have been doing that. Who knows?
Hmm.
And like that was just another thing. One concept of it that I thought was very interesting that I was not expecting was the doctor, because they had a doctor on staff who was
Right.
kind of monitoring their health, the diets that they were on, which I'll get to the diet part in a second. The extreme workout that they were doing, because they worked out for like 8 hours a day.
Hmm.
Um, I thought, oh great, the doctor's gonna be an ass. He's gonna like, say I did everything right when he really didn't. Actually, no, he was such an advocate for the contestants, and
Hmm.
he would say the right thing, the thing that they should be doing. But then you had freaking Jillian Michaels potentially feeding them like caffeine pills behind the doctor's back. And again,
Mm.
if anyone's seen the episode of Saved by the Bell, we know what happens when you take a caffeine pill. It can affect your heart. It can, main thing, the heart, especially when you're dealing with someone who is overweight. Like, you got to be so careful of your heart. So I was pleasantly surprised.
Hmm.
Fun
Hmm.
fact, he actually was an expert witness at O.J. Simpson's trial. Fun fact, I did not know that.
Mm.
But so, because we kind of saw like a little snippet of his testimony, but
Hmm.
um, he
Hmm.
actually sounds like a really good person who actually was trying to do right by the contestants on the show. And that is a rarity, I think, in these types of shows. The last thing I'll say about it, because as you can probably tell, I did enjoy the documentary. Um, but the one thing that I'll mention is the dieting. They would have them diet, but then they would have these challenges where they would put all of the bad foods in front of them. This you put chicken wings, donuts, cakes, um, foods that you shouldn't be eating. and put them all in front of them in this room. And they would have like, they basically try and tempt them into eating the food, and they would. But
Mm,
then, like, how does that help their like weight loss journey? Because
mhm,
now you're putting things into their body, depending on when they would do it. I don't know. But they would put these things in their body that maybe their bodies aren't as used to now because they have taken that out of their diet for the purposes of the show. You can make
mhm,
them get sick, or this is counterproductive for one thing. And it was just like what they kind of say is like all the things that stereotype um overweight people. And it's just like, this is the reason. Like, as a kid, I knew the show was a horrific concept and
mhm,
I wanted nothing to do with it.
mhm,
So, anyway, I highly recommend it,
mhm.
especially for people who watched the show. It's
Right.
kind of an interesting watch, I think, from that perspective, where you just didn't realize all of these things were happening.
Mm,
Um, but yeah, the other one that I'll talk about quickly here, um, is the another train wreck, and I will have another one after that I won't go deep on, but,
mhm.
Storm 51, train wreck Storm 51, Area 51. I did you remember anything from the potential storming of Area 51? This would have been, I think, it was around
Uh,
COVID, but at the beginning of it.
I don't think I watched it. I don't think I watched it.
No, but even just not even just watching it, like, do you remember hearing about it? It was
No, I
all
haven't. I haven't.
over social media that
Was
people were
it?
gonna do this.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it was couple. I think it was a couple years ago.
Yeah, it was a
Was it a
couple years
couple
ago, and I
or?
remember, like, Demi Lovato getting involved too, like, that's kind of like celebrities are starting to get involved too.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so
Does
I
it have
watched
to? Did it
Go
have
ahead.
to do with like aliens and all that stuff?
Just
And
suspect that there's aliens on Area 51, whether there
mm-hmm,
is or isn't, like, I don't know.
mm-hmm,
Um, but, like, they had a person who works on the base on Area 51, and he's like, "There's no aliens here. Like,
mm-hmm,
there's no aliens here." Now, he could be
mm-hmm,
lying, could be classified, but,
mm-hmm,
he's saying there's, like, nothing here. Um, but what I just didn't realize was, like, how this started and how it blew up like this. It was like, everyone is
mm-hmm,
dumb. That was my takeaway from this. Everyone's
mm-hmm,
just
mm-hmm,
stupid. And this was a two-parter, just heads up, because a lot of the Trainwreck ones have been kind of like these
mm-hmm,
short, like hour-long ones. This one was a two-part one. So it was like this guy just kind of made this silly meme about storming Area 51. Is it the you'll know, is it the Naruto that moves really fast or something? Like,
No, what? No, two?
yeah, some anime one that
Anime character. No, no.
goes really fast or
Okay,
something.
so there's two versions I always hit. It's no N- Naruto or Naruto.
I don't
So
know.
it is, huh?
One of them, whichever one, you tell me.
So the first one is Naruto.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Naruto.
Which
Naruto.
one goes fast? That one? That goes, like, really fast?
Yeah, that one goes. Well, he does go
Like,
fast.
he
Like
has, like, his
people
hands
keep.
behind his back and, like, runs really
Yes, people
fast?
keep. Yeah, I remember people kept doing that.
Yes,
Like
because
in
this
the.
guy
In,
started the meme with
mhm,
that character
mhm,
saying,
mhm,
like, "This is how I'm gonna storm Area 51," and it was a joke. But people,
mhm.
like, picked up on it and was, like, starting to make their own memes or make their own videos doing that.
Yeah.
And it just blew up that they were gonna now have this event of we're gonna storm Area 51 and they all can't stop us.
Mhm,
And then from that, it's like contact like this woman who had a diner or
mhm,
worked in a diner that was like near Area 51. She was like, I don't want any part of this. But then she did want a part
mhm,
of this. It was the
mhm,
weirdest thing. Like that part, I'm like, where did the transition happen? I'm just like, okay, fine, you're not taking part of this. But then she wants to get mad when an actual professional gets in involved, and it was okay. Bottom line, they didn't actually storm Area 51.
Mm,
All they did is kind of like do it for like 3 seconds as if they were going to storm Area 51, and then they just stopped. Literally, the event of storming Area 51 was doing that anime thing for like 5 seconds and then stopped. It That was it.
mhm.
It was the stupidest thing. Like how anticlimactic is I want people to get shot. Because like
I mean,
I mean,
I
I
mean
don't want people to
the
get
whole.
shot for real, but I'm just trying to say it's like we're building this up and building this up
Mhm,
um with Area 51 being stormed and then
mhm.
nothing happens. That's what I'm talking about. It's like
Yeah.
what was this all for? For nothing. And like you had all the town like putting in major security and setting up like urinals for their like
Mhm,
party thing that they were going to do I near like right in front of Area 51 doing all of this, and it's like for that like I'd
mhm,
be
mhm,
pissed if I was
mhm,
that town. But the actual person who started it, he's like, listen, I don't want to get be in responsible for people getting killed. I don't want to be responsible for people being arrested. I don't want to be arrested. So he's like, I'm not going there. I'm not doing
mhm,
it. And the professional like organizer ended up who came in said, you know what? Let's not go there wherever this town is. I can't remember. Let's just do something in Las Vegas. It's in Nevada, but we're gonna do something in Las Vegas instead of going to that town.
mhm.
And they did that instead, and people showed up there instead of going to Area 51, but people still did go, and that's what they did. It was 2 episodes,
Mm,
such an anticlimactic ending, and that's not Trainwreck's fault. That's just what happened.
mhm,
So I didn't dislike it. Um, I'm just I guess for me, I'm just kind of like, that's it. That was it. Okay. That's the
mhm,
people's fault. But anyways, that is my three. Of course, we'll talk about
mhm.
Wednesday
Yeah.
single-handedly on its own because we both probably watched that.
Mhm. So I noticed like there's something coming up, but you might like this. Like I'm not going to be talking about my favorites just yet, but there is uh
Is it Monster you're
something.
talking about?
Yes.
I want to save that to the end. We'll talk about that at the end. That's what I was going to talk about.
You
Yeah,
you
I know
want to say
about
that
that.
to
We're
the
going to talk
end?
about it in the end with the coming
Okay,
ups.
we're
Yeah.
going to say okay. All right. Okay. All right. So my three that I watch, I'm just going to check my letterbox because like I put up uh a list of stuff that I watched in 2025, but for this month I watched a film called How to Make Millions Before Grandma Dies. So basically, this film was made in like Thailand. It was inspired by different Asian cultures as well, and basically the film is about a university dropout, low on money, luck on volunteer to take care of his terminal ill grandmother in hopes of pocketing inheritance. So, uh, great, great movie, great movie. I always like watching, different types of culture movies, not just, North American or just American or, you know, just
Hmm.
just a traditional American, Western type of movies. I just like watching different types of art form. If it is anime, live action, cartoon, etc. I just love to watch different types of culture, and this is like one of them. It's not an anime; it's live action, and it's a pretty good one. And it's very sad. I don't want to spoil it at all, but it's just very sad towards the end. It'll just make you, cry. And Yeah, for me, this movie's like a 4 out of 5. It does has tiny bit issues, but I'm not complaining over it too much. Uh, but yeah, great movie. Uh, Something that was outside of Netflix. I did watch Sonic 3.
Mhm.
This one everybody knows what Sonic the Hedgehog is. He's a video game character. Uh, I did watch the first 2 films a long time, like a couple years ago, and those were good. This is a bit better. Uh, it's not like a huge leap, but this is good. Basically, it's Sonic the Hedgehog, Tails, Knuckles, and your favorite actors in here who
I
plays
know.
Knuckles.
Wait, who?
Idris Elba.
But he's not actually in it if he's playing Michaels.
He's playing Knuckles,
Yeah,
voice
yeah, but
acting.
he's not actually in it.
He's not in it. He's voice acting for the
Exactly.
character. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but
Just
that's not the same. I want to actually see him.
I mean, like he's technically in
Yeah,
it.
but
It's
no,
just
but
he was in a series
I
based
hear
on the character.
you.
Yeah,
But
but
as a person who finds him attractive, I like to see him
I see
in
him.
a
Yeah,
movie.
but you
I
can.
thought you were gonna say Jim Carrey, but oh
He's
right,
in, you see him. These Knuckles. You know,
no,
is it Knuckles? Treasure?
no,
Well,
I don't particularly
uh,
want to see Knuckles. So the
but
fact
yeah,
that I'd even know who that is yeah.
you never played Sonic the Hedgehog?
I've never been a Sonic fan. No, it's not
Man,
for me.
um,
Since
um,
everyone was watching it, me as a kid, I'm like, nah, I'm good. Like I was never interested. My brother's
um,
watched it, and he's played um
mhm.
one of the games that came out like when he was a kid, but um even he doesn't. He's kind of fallen off Sonic too, so we're not really a
I
Sonic
mean,
house.
yeah, some of the games, like, yeah, some of the games like did fall off. Like I did play. I don't know if anybody knows Sonic Superstars. That game uh, wasn't good, but they did remaster another game that was one of my favorite games on the Xbox 360 called Sonic Generations Times.
That might have been the one that he had
He had that one.
or has or have or
That's
whatever.
a great game. That's a great game.
Yeah, I think that sounds familiar.
Yeah, Sonic
Yeah.
Generation.
He
That's a
played
great
it
game.
all the time. He played it all the time. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Superstars is that one was not good at all.
yeah,
I
I don't
traded that
remember
in.
him ever. He
Yeah,
only
I
has
traded that in.
one. He only has one Sonic game.
One? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Good. Okay,
And it
cool,
was
cool.
most likely the one I did
Yeah,
before.
yeah, cool.
Um, but
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, that so the movie was good, and I liked it very much, and that's like a 3.5 stars out of 5 in my opinion. So I didn't watch Wednesday. I
You did
My bad.
not.
I did not watch Wednesday.
We literally talked about it on the
I
podcast that
know,
you were gonna
I
watch
know,
it. So what happened? It's 4 episodes. Like, come on.
I know. But I watched something else. I watched
Okay.
something else.
Okay.
It's a movie called Breakin'. It's a
Okay.
lot similar than Straw, but like it's like in reverse. It's like a military guy in he's basically trying to break into the banking, blah blah blah. But he well, let me tell you the gist of the story. So he was basically desperate for money and running out of options. He's a Marine veteran. His name is
Mm,
Brian Brown. He holds several people hostages, and he was inside the bank setting the stage for a tense confirmation with the police. It's similar to like Straw, like the way how the like uh the bank scene is,
mhm,
but bit different. A bit different because this guy was so apologetic every single time he was talking to like the accountants that were the 2 accountants that were in the bank with him. Every single time he was like saying, telling them something, and then he was saying sorry, apologize, etc., etc. and then he was always looking for a um uh what do you call it, a negotiator to ne- like it's sad. It's sad how away it ended, and I don't want to spoil too much of the story. Uh I just gave you guys the summary of it. He was basically desperate for money, run out of options, and he was a Marine. So, and um, I think he was like, we call that, uh, we call get it jibbed, um, out of money, basically,
Well, that's
from
what
some,
happens. Like
yeah,
it's sad because that's
yeah,
reality
yeah,
for a lot of veterans. They
yeah,
fight for people's rights and
yep,
risk their lives doing so. And
yeah,
when they were, when they leave the
hmm
service,
hmm
um, they don't get um they don't get good treatment, whether it's
hmm
psychological, physical,
hmm
financial.
hmm
They don't these are men and women and days who go into that, and
hmm
they're just left to kind of like figure it out by themselves. And
yep,
I find it's worse in the States than it is
hmm
here.
hmm
I don't hear about that as much here.
yeah. I don't hear that much.
Um,
You know.
but it's like it's so sad that like that's what happens. And
hmm
I feel like, instead of, you know, you know, um throwing things under the rug when it
Yep.
comes to certain criminals in order
Yep.
to save one's ass.
Mhm.
Maybe you should be looking into ways that you can, you know,
Mhm.
do for your veterans, like
Mhm.
what they at least like half of what they do for
Exactly.
for us. So it's just
Mhm.
that's always something that bothers me. That
Mhm.
that's not the veterans are just not taken care of. Always
Yeah.
bothered me.
Yeah.
Whether it is here, happening here, 'cause I'm sure it happens to some degree here too. Um, I don't care where it is, like, you need to be doing better for the
Mm.
people who
Mhm.
fight for us. It's
Mm.
just
I
yeah,
agree.
it's horrible.
I agree 100%. So your boy John, is it Boyega?
Who?
Is star Boyega? Yeah,
I don't
John
know who
Boyega.
that is.
Do you know who that is? It's the guy who did Star Wars. The
You're talking to me about Star Wars?
Yeah, Star
Have
Wars.
I
Yeah,
ever talked to
yeah,
you about
yeah.
Star Wars before? I am not a Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Uh, so you never seen his actor before?
Who?
Interesting. Okay.
I don't know who that is.
John Boyega.
I don't know who that is. Unless you're saying his name wrong, but like I don't know who that is.
Boyega.
I don't know who that is.
Wow. Oh, okay.
Maybe I know his face, but like
Mhm.
I don't
You
know
might
who
know
that
his
is.
face. You might know his face.
Enough. I
And
wouldn't know from Star Wars, I can tell you that.
Michael Kenneth Williams.
That name sounds familiar.
He was
But
from The Wire. The guy from Wire.
I never watched The Wire, but that name does sound familiar.
Okay. If you might see these two actors, you might usually
Yeah, I probably know
recognize
their
them.
face because I don't know
Yeah.
everyone's name.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that one's a very it's a true story based on a true story, and it's
Oh,
a
okay.
very very good film.
Mm,
Um, uh, sad. Well, like I said, I don't want to spoil it too much, even though I want to.
mm,
This is like a 3 out of 5. A little bit of issues here and there on
mm,
pacing, etc. But
mm.
otherwise than that, good film. And I think that's about it for
Okay.
August. Yeah,
Okay.
that's the three
You don't have
films for
like any
me.
honorable mentions or anything like that.
Oh no, I don't have Rihanna to mention. No, I was
Okay.
gonna watch the Oppenheimer. Was it Oppenheimer?
Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer. I was gonna watch that this
Yeah, I
month, but
haven't watched that.
I'm
I
going.
don't
I heard
know.
so.
It's really good, but
Yeah,
I don't know if I've One day maybe I will, but like
Mhm.
not today.
Yeah, I'm gonna have
I'm
to.
ready for that right
Yeah, I'm
now.
gonna have to rent it because I hear so many great things. And then Chris Nolan made that film, so he made his
Hmm.
Interception as well. So like,
Yeah.
and I haven't watched a Chris
I you know
Nolan.
what? I've never watched Inception. I've never watched it.
I thought it
I
was.
know
I
it's
thought it.
really good, but
Yeah,
I've never watched it.
I said I thought it was. I thought it was weird when I
Oh, but
first
that's the
watched it,
idea, right? It's supposed to
and
be
then I
weird.
yeah, and then when I left film, I was like, wow, this was weird good.
Yeah, at least it's weird
Yeah,
good because like
yeah,
it you don't want it to be weird bad the
yeah,
way
yeah,
I feel
yeah.
about Vanilla Sky. Y'all don't get me
Uh,
started.
hmm.
Did you ever watch Vanilla Sky with Tom Cruise, Penelope
No.
Cruz, Cameron Diaz? Don't watch it. Never watch it. I don't understand how that thing
Oh,
won an Academy
ri-
Award. Never watch it.
right, Tom
I will
Cruise.
rant and I will rave about how stupid that movie was. I don't understand what happened. To this day, I watched that. I only watched it one time. Okay. And it's not like I was young and I just didn't
Hmm.
get it. Because like I've
Hmm.
watched like
Hmm.
there's this movie with Sandra Bullock. What was the movie called? Um I can't remember the movie's called right now. But it's basically like
Hmm.
one of those
Hmm.
weirder movies again where it's like you kind of really have to pay attention to
Hmm.
what is happening. It was
Hmm.
like she had a car accident and
Hmm.
something like that around those lines, whether it was like involving her and her family.
Right.
I got that movie. At the end of
Hmm.
it, I'm like, oh, I
Hmm.
understood it. No, don't ask me what it was I understood, but I know I
Yeah,
understood it.
yeah,
And Vanilla Sky, to this day,
yeah.
I don't get it. I don't understand how it won
Yeah.
an award. I don't know how it was nominated. It
Yeah,
is the
yeah.
stupidest movie. And because me and my mom, we rented it back in the day when you have Blockbuster
Right.
or Rogers and you could rent movies from Rogers. And I remember just watching it and I'm just like, after it ended, I'm like, what the hell just happened? I don't understand what just happened. His head was frozen, but he's
Mhm.
not dead. I was so, you know what? Spoiler alert for a
Yeah,
25-year-old movie.
yeah.
Um, Not that old, 20-year-old movie. But it was stupid. So okay. I'm gonna come
Well,
off that because I hate that
yeah.
movie.
Speaking of Tom Cruise,
Oh
I
God,
did
no.
I did watch with my friend RJ and his wife. Shout out
Mm.
to them. So I did watch War of the World. I know
War of the
there's a
World, yeah,
new
yeah.
I know there's a new one out there and the people are just
There is. Oh,
yeah, it's
right.
with
There's a War of the World with
Ice
somebody else
Cube
though.
with Ice Cube and
Ice Cube.
Ice Cube's the star of
Oh,
the
okay. That's not what I was expecting. I was getting
and it's
confused with
people.
World War Z, which is a different one
Yeah, yeah, no,
completely.
no, War of
Yeah, I
Worlds.
watched the
They,
World War Z one. I
yeah,
didn't watch the Tom Cruise one because I don't care.
yeah, the Tom Cruise. It was all right. It wasn't
I hate Tom
like,
Cruise. Can I tell you? Like, I hate Tom Cruise.
yeah,
I can't stand him. Like, I
it's,
can't watch him. I'm
what?
once upon a time I could. When
He's a
Cocktail would play on TV, which
uh-huh,
maybe a deep cut for.
uh-huh,
Do you know the movie
uh-huh.
Cocktail?
No,
Okay, so I'm sure for other people we know what Cocktail is. It's a great
mhm,
movie. It's one of my favorite
mhm,
movies when I was a kid.
mhm,
And it's older than me, but still. I would love watching Cocktail or Top Gun
mhm.
or, I never really watched Risky Business, but listen, that scene,
Right.
iconic scene. I love Jerry Maguire. But I'm sorry. I said this before too. The minute the man started jumping on Oprah's couch, it went downhill from there.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
that's not being a father to your child because, Scientology, don't get me started. I hate him. Anyways,
So, so I have a question for you.
okay.
Me, RJ, and and his wife, we had this
Hmm.
like conversation about Tom Cruise,
Okay.
about being a one-dimensional actor, or he has no range.
He's become one dimensional.
So is he just an action type of actor, or does he have range?
He, I feel like back in the day, like in the 80s into the 90s, yes, he
Hmm.
had range because he wasn't just an action actor. Like I
Hmm.
just mentioned, like
Yeah, yeah.
he was in Risky Business.
Hmm.
He was in The Firm, which is an incredible movie,
Hmm. Hmm.
and he's incredible in it.
Hmm.
Um, you had like I said, Cocktail, which was, he was a bartender, and you know, the Jerry Maguire, he's, an
Yeah.
agent. Like
Hmm.
he had range, and yeah, he had Top Gun. But like Top Gun again is a classic movie.
Yeah.
It's
Is it not
it
more action though, too? Would you
it
just?
is, but it also
Hmm.
has the element of him falling in love with somebody. So
Hmm.
although it has the action side of things where,
Hmm.
he's flying these fighter jets,
Hmm.
he is falling in love with this woman and
Hmm.
playing volleyball and whatever and
Hmm.
experiences a
Hmm.
friend's
Hmm.
death like
Yeah.
that. Like there's range in this. I'm okay if there's range within a movie as well.
Hmm.
um I feel
But
like the only movie that he has done in most recent years that maybe wasn't save the world in the sense of he's not doing all these Mission Impossible movies, which I feel
yeah.
like, can we stop now? I feel like this is too much. But
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
but the one thing I'll give him, he does his own stunts. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
Don't
think
really
like I'll give you
play that.
props. Props are
Yeah,
due.
yeah, yeah.
Um, because that's not easy, and he's not like
Mhm,
spring chicken. You know what I mean?
mhm,
But
mhm,
yeah. So I'll give you that. But like, I feel like the only thing that maybe was slightly different than like Mission Impossible type stuff was one that he did with Cameron Diaz called, I think it was called Night and Day, um, which had like the comedy element to it. But
mhm, mhm,
at the same time, I feel like, I mean, not that he wasn't lending to the comedy aspect of that movie, but I
mhm.
feel like a lot of the comedy came from Cameron Diaz. So like, I like
Um,
he has become one dimensional. But I feel like
mm,
he's placed himself in that box of being one dimensional.
yeah,
He has range, or he did. So I don't know why, like, it's just become what it's
yeah,
become.
yeah. Me and my friend's wife did agree. He doesn't really have that much range. He
But I
basically,
implore you, like, if you
mhm,
haven't watched, I'm not going to say watch Cocktail, but
yeah,
if you
yeah,
haven't watched The Firm,
yeah.
that is a must watch. Like, if you really want to see a little bit more range from him,
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
The Firm.
The firm.
It's such a good movie.
So
It,
is go ahead, go ahead.
no, 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 I'm done. Go ahead.
Okay. So he does more so action movies than he does
Nowadays.
like nowadays. Okay.
Yeah.
So most, yeah. And that's what me and his, like, my friend's wife, like, we just basically was telling him he wasn't basically, getting it. But like we
He wasn't
understand,
getting
like
it.
he wasn't he says he has more range. He has more range
He
than
used to.
Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm like, no, he doesn't.
No, no,
No, no, no.
he used to.
Yeah.
That's the key
Yes.
word here is he
Yeah.
used to.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel like ever since
Hmm.
Scientology really became a big thing for Tom
Uh-huh.
Cruise,
Yeah.
and then he started this relationship with Katie Holmes, and like that was like,
Yeah.
everything. That's when his career started to take this weird turn,
Mm.
and it hasn't bounced back.
Hmm.
And I don't know, man.
Hmm.
When I think about the top dogs in Scientology,
Yeah. Yeah.
so I'm thinking like, well, I mean, may she rest in whatever she is, but
Hmm.
Kirstie Alley, I feel like a little
Hmm.
different because like she wasn't really acting much
Right.
towards
Right.
the end,
Right.
like the last few years of her life.
Right.
But like when I think about like John Travolta,
Hmm.
I wouldn't necessarily say John Travolta had a range necessarily, but
No.
he was a popular actor. Everyone
Yeah.
loved him.
Yeah. He was
Grease,
very
Saturday
popular.
Night Fever,
Yeah.
Look Who's Talking, 1, 2,
Hmm.
and 3.
Hmm.
Some of my favorite movies. And I feel like now when the rumors came out that he may have been gay, I'm not saying he is or
Mm-hmm.
isn't. I
Mm-hmm.
don't care.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just like,
Mm-hmm.
it got weird. It got weird.
Yeah.
And listen, I love Hairspray, but
Mm-hmm.
ever since he like did that role of playing the mom in Hairspray, which is typically played by a male actor anyways, like that's not unusual. But when he did that role, it just went downhill for him too. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know, man. I'm
Mm-hmm.
thinking Scientology might be the reason.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, if you have an issue with me saying Scientology is up, this is
Mm-hmm.
the wrong podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying that right now.
So,
Um,
so like actors that do have range, like Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp has range.
oh,
He does
that
have
man
range.
has range.
Yeah, he has range.
He
And then you
has
go,
quirky range, but he
yeah,
has range.
yeah. Leonardo DiCaprio has range.
I would not disagree with that.
Yeah,
I don't, I
yeah,
can't watch a lot of Leonardo DiCaprio movies, and I haven't watched a lot of Leonardo DiCaprio movies. Um, but yes, he does. Like he was incredible in like Catch Me If You
yeah,
Can. You
yeah.
know, Wolf of Wall Street. I didn't watch it myself, but I hear he's incredible in that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Leonardo DiCaprio is an incredible actor.
Yes.
Um,
No, I'm not saying Tom Cruise is not
I'm not
credible.
saying Tom
He's a
Cruise
great.
isn't either, but
He's a great.
one
Yeah, he's a great
dimensional.
too. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So it was
yeah.
like Will Smith, like straight up, like listen,
Will Smith has range too. Yeah, he has range.
he used to.
Really? You don't say?
I
Yeah.
I
Wow.
feel like at one point, like
Uh-huh.
I think he started to realize, okay, maybe I need to switch gears a little bit.
Uh-huh.
But at one point, if you think about it, there was movie after movie after movie where he's saving the goddamn world. That to me, it also adds to the one dimension. If we're gonna say Tom Cruise mainly does action, well, so was Will Smith at one point, was only doing that. There was a break where he was doing like Pursuit of Happiness. That was like
Yeah.
it, and then he went right back
Hancock.
into it.
Hancock is one, and then
That's the
another one.
save the world type movie though.
Save the world, and then is it
That movie
iRobot?
came on
I,
the other day, and I'm like, I forgot how good this movie was.
that was a good movie.
That was a
Is it
great movie.
Yeah, iRobot was another one.
That was an save the world
iRobot.
type movie.
Hmm. It's
I
say okay.
Robot. Yeah, although I like the movie, but yes, Men in Black.
And then Black.
Two,
Yeah.
one, two, and did they do a third one with them? I can't remember.
Ooh,
But
I feel like I don't know. It's kind of they're all different in their in their own
that's the one
way.
where the world ended and he's like the last man on Earth. That's one. He did a
Ooh,
movie where
I
like
Am Legend. There we go. That
yes,
was the one. Yeah.
I did not get through that movie, but um, not for the reasons like it wasn't good. It's just like it got weird
Mm-hmm,
for me, and I'm like
hmm
I'm out. But
hmm
there's a movie he did with another movie he did with Jan Smith, where it's like save the world type thing.
Oh
That was a
yeah, that was
flop.
yeah,
But
that flopped.
did
Yeah,
that
tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow end or
some
something like
yeah, some whatever it was. But he
that.
did that. And then we look at like other stuff like
Mm.
Independence Day was a little bit different, but it's like
Yeah,
it still
as
had that element to it.
I think that's where he begun. That's where he begun. Like though, that was his first like action after Fresh Prince.
Fresh to Fresh Prince, yeah. It's a great movie.
Think so.
Don't
I
get me
think so.
wrong,
Yeah.
but it's just like, really? The movies I like with Will Smith around like he would do like little things in here and there, sprinkle in between the action movies. I love like Hancock, yes, was like an action movie, but I actually
Yeah,
liked it
Bad
because it
Boys.
had the comedy element,
Yeah.
Bad Boys. But again, it also has that Save the World type feel again. But like
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Bad
You're right.
Boys
Yeah.
was funny, and at least I had that.
Mm-hmm.
Hitch, one of my favorite movies. Love Hitch. Hitch is so good.
So
Anytime that movie's on television.
he's more seasoned like sprinkled.
Yes.
Uh.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but he still at one point was doing a lot of one type
Yeah.
movie
Yeah. Yeah. I see
where
what you're
it's
saying.
like, Wild
Yeah. I see
Wild
what you're
West. No, that wasn't necessarily a
I
great movie.
I feel like that was different. It was more comedy
It
than
was.
Save the
Yeah.
World. Like he
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
was,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. But again, like, oh, okay, the movie was not great,
Hmm.
but the song by Cisco, oh my God, that song was great. Do you know the song by Cisco, right? He did for the theme song
Yeah, yeah.
for Wild Wild West. Well, it was Cisco and Will Smith. But
Hmm.
yeah, it was oh anytime the best, and this is why I want Will Smith to get back into when he would do a movie, especially in the 90s, when
Hmm.
he would do a movie and he would do a theme song
Hmm.
for the movie, when
Yeah.
theme songs were like the thing to do.
Yes.
His
Yeah.
Men in
Yeah.
Black one, the
Yeah.
first one,
Hmm.
one of my favorite songs, the Wild Wild West one, great song.
Yeah. Great song.
The one he did for the second one was not too bad either. Nod Your Head, I
Hmm.
think is what it's called.
Hmm.
It wasn't too bad either, but like that was like the best, man. When
Hmm.
Will Smith would do a movie and he would tap it
Yeah.
on
Do a
with a
song.
theme
Yeah. Do.
song. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. Now we'll go at actors who don't have range. Kevin Hart.
say I want to disagree with you, but I can't.
Yeah, he doesn't have.
I can't disagree with
I
you.
said he doesn't have rage.
But for
He
me,
does
he's funny though. So
comedy.
like
He
I
just
can,
won.
yeah. And you know what though? Someone said this, and as someone who I don't want you like, I mean, you're an actor when you're on Broadway, but like she's a podcaster, but she does Broadway as well, and so does the co-host. He actually just recently was a part of the Jesus Christ Superstar
Hmm.
at a Hollywood Bowl,
Hmm.
which I talked about before already, and
Hmm.
I obviously couldn't see it. It's done now, but I saw clips. Looked absolutely incredible. Jealous of anyone who got to go see it.
Hmm.
But she said, and it's true, someone who does comedy, that is harder than someone who's doing like another genre of movie. So
Are you
although,
really?
yes, that is 100, and I'm gonna believe her because she's in this industry
Mm-hmm.
more than anyone else. Her and him both agreed. They're in this industry, so I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna agree with them. Um, and I get it because it's like anyone can potentially act, and I mean it's hard too. All of it's hard.
Yeah,
But to
all of it's hard.
actually
Yeah.
make a joke and it land and continue doing that, and not only that, but like obviously there's our scripts, but you can actually deliver that in the way it's intended. I get why comedy can be harder because like you may think you're funny, but can you actually be funny to a point where you're delivering a line in the way it's intended? And that goes for all genres, but like comedy, I can't understand. That's a gift that not everyone is capable of doing. So, although, yes, do I agree Kevin Hart is
Hmm.
one dimensional? Yes, but can like someone like, I don't know, Kate Winslet do what Kevin Hart does?
Hmm.
Probably not. Kate
Hmm.
Winslet's good in her own right. Trust me. I don't think Kevin Hart could do what she does, but I don't think Kate Winslet could do what he does either. That's a
Hmm.
gift that
Hmm.
he has, or Eddie Murphy, or Will Smith, or
Hmm.
um, Jack Black, or something like Jim Carrey. Like these are people who have that gift
See,
that no one else has.
Robbie is different. I think he
Who?
has range. Robbie Williams?
Robin Williams. But again, yes, Robin Williams was a man who had could do the comedy, but could also do the drama. He could do that. But I can't remember if Robin Williams was classically trained though, because believe he was. So that's the difference. When you're classically trained to do this,
Mm.
that's totally different. It's you have something that not everyone else has, right? So that is where I feel a lot for Robin Williams comes from is because he was professionally trained in this. Like he went to school for this.
Mhm.
So that's totally to me that's different. But like he had that range. And yes, no one could deliver lines like Robin Williams.
Mhm.
And I'm not going to put Kevin Hart in anywhere near Robin Williams, and I don't think he
Mhm.
would either. So that's totally different. But
Yeah, I do feel like he has more range as a comedian than anybody. Like he can go like I feel like his comedian is much different than Kevin Hart's comedian. I feel like Kevin Hart's comedian is more likely always the same. Robbie's like a different type of comedian. It's
he,
di
but I
different.
disagree with you because
Mm,
in terms of Kevin Hart is
mm,
like a one-dimensional comedian.
mm,
Um, when it comes to his movies, maybe, but his comedy skits, especially his earlier comedy skits, he was freaking hilarious before he really became like an actor and then maybe like, change things. Like his early stuff, like his like really early stuff, he was freaking ridiculously funny. And um,
yeah, I would say it's
so
yeah. I
that
would say.
that is so I'm not going to take that away from him because
Hmm.
someone being a comedian, not just an actor, but
Hmm.
is able to do these stand-up comedy sets as well. That's something again that some comedians are not capable of doing. Robin Williams, I believe he did do stand-up comedy as well.
Yeah, he did. He
So
did.
he definitely did, but like I'm thinking of someone else like who maybe didn't. Um, trying to think someone who would be like a
Who
comedian
didn't?
who didn't, but or who doesn't have that, but is
I think
able
a lot.
to.
I think a lot of community
No, a lot is why it's
did
hard for me to figure
did.
out who didn't.
Oh, jeez.
Um,
No,
I can't even.
Jerry Seinfeld did it.
No, he started
And then
doing. That's how he started. So
started. Yeah.
no, that's
Oh
not.
shit.
That's not good.
That's hard. That's hard.
It is hard.
Because a
It is
lot of them
hard.
did do stand up. Even if it wasn't commercialized, they probably did it in some way somehow.
Yeah, but I'm also talking about the more commercialized ones, though. So I'm not talking like ones that are well known for their not just their acting, but their comedy,
Hmm.
stand-up acts as well. And I can't even think of anybody,
Hmm.
um, who hasn't done that. Um, but yeah, like the main thing is like I'm not gonna take from Kevin Hart because he worked hard to get where he is, and a lot of that was comedy, being doing stand-up comedy. So he wouldn't be where he is if it wasn't for that. So clearly he was doing something right. And like I said, like I watched his earlier stuff, um, that was like televised or recorded or whatever, and it's on Netflix, or at least was back in the day. I don't know if it still is. But he was hilarious. When I think about like the latest one that he did, or the earliest one that he did, I think he was still married to his ex-wife. Like that's how old it was. And he was hilarious. But then when I think about not his most recent one, because I know he's been touring, um, but I'm gonna say one that he did, like maybe right before the pandemic.
Hmm.
It was funny. It wasn't as funny, but it was, funny. Um, and it's like you can see the difference between what he was doing more recently versus what he was doing before, and the before stuff was really good. So, like, I don't know. I don't, I
Hmm.
don't think, do I see Kevin Hart doing like a drama?
Hmm.
No,
He was
but
close in a couple films. Like there was one film that he was close to doing like a more serious film, but it
he
came out.
has done them.
Yeah.
There, I know there is one where it's a little bit more serious.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's on Netflix. I haven't watched it, but I mean, one day I will get to it. Um, and I was told it was really good. Like
Hmm.
it was a really good movie.
Yeah, yeah, I heard that
Um,
too.
so again,
And
like
that's why I
I,
feel like he should do so a little more. You know, a little more.
but you want to know why it doesn't
Yeah.
happen? Because he's
Hmm.
typecasted. That's something that all of these actors deal with. They're being typecasted. So it's hard to be out of that
Hmm.
when you're being typecasted because the world expects you to do a certain thing, right? like it's hard for them if they want to do something different and they're just not able to do something different.
Mhm.
So it's,
Mm.
yeah, maybe partially him, but I think it's also partially the skits, the scripts he's getting and the people who are willing to have him try something new. So it's a whole thing. And I've talked about it before, like with Michael Jackson, like he would always want to do something different when he performed Billie Jean. He never wanted to continue doing the moonwalk every time and flip the hat and do the same dance every time he performed the song. But that's what the world expected. So not quote unquote typecasted, but the world expected him to do it. So he had to do it. So it's hard to change when the world expects something. So
Mm.
I think that's part of it.
True, true that. Sorry, I apologize. I have one more actor. Will Ferrell?
Okay, but we're not talking about Will Ferrell again. We've talked about Will Ferrell already. We're not doing it again. You want to hear about his thoughts and whatever on Will Ferrell, head on over to our episode for Christmas where we talked about it with Elf. We're not doing this again. Moving on. Moving
Oh, okay.
on.
All right. Okay, let's move on.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so my honorable mentions is real quick. We'll kind of go through it. I might do a little tiny synopsis for some of them, but one, train wreck, PI moms. This was an interesting one. I actually enjoyed it. I've never heard of this before. It's basically about a show that Lifetime was trying to pick up, where they had um private investigators who were all moms. And they the show never happened. Never happened. For multiple reasons. I won't say why, but definitely watch it. This was a shorter one again. But it was 45 minutes. So yeah, it was really good. I enjoyed it. Um, Another one I watched, Medea's Destination Wedding, which is something that's been pretty anticipated for a bit now. I've been hearing about this movie coming for maybe the last year, year and a half. So it finally came. It was funny. It was funny. It was typical Medea movie. Laughing from the moment it starts. It was a good one. This one's basically, if you hadn't been following the more recent Medea movies, especially the ones through like Netflix, it was can't remember his name in the movie, but Tyler Perry himself, his character, because obviously he plays Medea and the uncle, but um just like as himself playing a character, his daughter was getting married. Um, so that's basically that. So his daughter is like really young, getting married to some guy he never even met before. So it's like this whole thing, and it it was funny. I enjoyed it. If you are a Medea fan slash Tyler Perry fan, you'll enjoy it. Um, I watched, this is not necessarily Netflix, like to Netflix, but they did put Megan on Netflix. I won't like give necessarily a synopsis. Have you heard of the movie Megan?
I heard of it.
Yeah.
Yes, I heard
I
of it.
I actually enjoyed it. I remember watching like the commercials for it and being like, I want to watch that movie. It looks
Hmm.
kind of good. But it kind of, when it finally came to Netflix,
Hmm.
I was like, yes, I'm doing it, finally watching it. And I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I personally don't understand how it had a second movie based on how it ends. I won't spoil it,
Mm.
but I'm just like, how did we get to a second movie and how does this work? But somehow it had a second movie. Um, One day I'll watch that one too, and I'll give my two cents on whether or not the sequel is any good. Um, Another one I watched, which I don't know if it's exclusive to Netflix or if this was just a movie. But if you do want to watch this, by the time this comes out, it might be too late because I think it was leaving on August 31st. But I'm sure you can find it somewhere else. It's called The Black Phone. It's a horror movie. It stars Ethan Hawke as the bad guy. Um, this one I had to kind of pace myself with a little bit because I'm like,
Mhm.
I don't mind like horror to a certain extent, but when I start seeing, spoiler alert, dead kids coming
Mhm.
back to help the kid who's been kidnapped, um, I need a minute. So it I did finish it though. Like I literally finished it like today as I'm recording. And I I'm happy about the ending because I literally said if this kid dies, I'm gonna be so mad. But I mean, whether he does or he doesn't, you don't need to know until you watch it. But anyways, it was good.
Mhm.
I enjoyed it. It kind of gave me because it's set back in the 70s too. It kind of gave me a John Wayne Gacy vibe, just because like he was kidnapping younger boys,
Mhm. Mhm.
and like burying them in his basement,
Right.
or one of the basements that he owned. It was, it kind of gave me that vibe a little bit, and I'm like, huh, okay. Um, so yeah, but anyways, it was good. Um, Another one I watched, Jurassic World Dominion. This one's also probably gone by the time this episode airs on Netflix anyways, but of course you can find it somewhere else if you want to watch it if you haven't yet. But yeah, this one I mainly was like, "Oh, it's leaving. Is this the one with the legacy characters?" And I'm like,
Mhm.
"Oh, yep, it is." So I had to watch it. I liked it. I didn't mind it. I thought it was decent. Um, I don't know about those big ass locusts though.
Mhm. Mhm.
That there were some dinosaurs and I'm like, God damn. There's some okay, listen. Listen. If we ever if the world ever decides, you know what's a good idea? Making dinosaurs. Can we at least make the ones that don't eat people? Let's do that. Let's do the ones that are mainly omnivores. Or is it herbivores? What are the ones that only eat plants? I think it's herbivores.
Mhm.
Whichever ones are the plant-based ones. Let's make those ones. If I see a T-Rex or something, or a raptor, or whatever, I don't know where I'm gonna go. You might as well just take me now. Not gonna live. Anyway, that's that one. The last one, because I watched a lot this month. The last one that I actually wish I kind of talked a little bit more about, but maybe we can start a conversation with this one. The truth about Jesse Smollett.
Mhm.
And you know the story about Jesse Smollett, right? What happened? Do you know who Jesse Smollett is?
I heard about what happened, like when he faked something. I can't remember what it was.
Okay, so I'll just give a quick synopsis then.
Uh,
Okay, so Jesse Smollett was at the time a part of Empire.
uh-huh.
Um
Yeah.
this particular incident happened during the last season of Empire.
Uh-huh.
Um he was where was he? Somewhere cold. I think Chicago. Oh yeah, he was in Chicago because they were filming Empire in Chicago. So he was in Chicago. He had just landed. He goes out for a walk like at 2 o'clock in the morning. Apparently, Chicago at that time was in a polar vortex. So what?
Mhm.
Um, and he goes out for a walk. Decides to go to Subway to get
Mhm.
food.
Mhm.
Then, as he's leaving Subway, he gets attacked or heckled initially by what he described as two white men, but they were wearing balaclavas, so it was hard for him to see
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
them completely. But they kind of heckled him. It was kind of like, "Hey, are you that black um I will be bleeping that. From Empire,
Hmm.
and he kind of like turned around because he did play a gay character on Empire, but he's
Yes.
also gay in real life.
Right.
Um, he kind of turned around and then they started beating him up. He didn't know that until he got back to his apartment or penthouse, whatever, that he also had like a noose around his neck. Um, and so yeah, that's basically like the gist of it. Obviously, when this came out, like everyone's like, oh my God, like how could this happen? I remember thinking, holy, because again, I watched Empire, I was a fan of the show, I was a fan of him. He has an amazing voice. I'm just like, how? And then it started coming out that he faked it pretty quickly after that happened. And I remember feeling really disappointed because I'm like, as a black man, like, why would you ever do this? And to then also find out, because here's the thing, y'all. The truth about Justice Smollett, I wasn't quite expecting it, but he was interviewed. He was in this documentary. So that
Hmm.
part for me, I'm like, oh my God, like he's here. Like,
Right.
this is great. That feels either he's gonna take accountability or we're gonna find something else out. So this is what I mean by like I wish I talked about this more so because like I I I went into this believing he faked it. That's what I've been believing for the past 6 years, that he faked this. I'm questioning everything now because so much came out about how the Chicago police had a history of similar things and similar results. And the other thing is they had eyewitnesses who claimed they saw white men running away from the scene after this whole incident happened. And they also found CCTV footage. And now here's my thing. There were people there who looked at it and said, oh, yeah, like those men, one of them took off the mask and they're like, oh, yeah, that guy looks like a light skin, like a black man based on like how they were walking and I guess like the
Mm-hmm.
color of their skin too. To me, I'm like, either that is a white man or a light-skinned black man. Either way, not the brothers. So the it came out that the brothers, as we call them, who knew Jesse Smollett, one of them actually, anyways, knew him,
Hmm.
um, worked for at Empire as an extra, him
Hmm.
and the brother. So they're
Yeah.
like, okay, there's the connection. So he probably paid them to do this. He says, one of them was my trainer. So, like, that's how he knew him. But he's like, yes, I also knew them from Empire. But, like, he didn't pay them to do this, he says. Um, Either way, they're two African men from Nigeria, or their family's Nigerian. I don't know if they're from Nigeria, but they're Nigerian. And they are darker skinned black men. They do not
Mm.
resemble the the men in that CCTV footage.
Right.
So I'm like, huh. And here's the other part. One of the brothers had a very lengthy criminal record.
Oh,
Could
oh
it
wow.
be possible that the police were like, hey, we know you have a lengthy criminal record and you're actually, I believe, if I'm correct on this, was about to go to court for one of his charges around the time this all happened.
Mhm.
How about we make that disappear and you admit to attacking Jesse Smollett? Could that be possible? I swear I came out of this documentary thinking so differently. I don't think he faked it. I think he was attacked that night.
Mm.
And it blows my mind because I'm like, all this time I thought he faked this. and not understanding why he would do this, especially when you find out his mom was a part of the Black Panthers.
Mm,
This will go against everything he believes in. He's like, don't get me wrong, I'm not a silent person. I'm going to
mm,
stand up
mm.
for people's rights. This is how I was brought up to be. So, how do you go from that to doing this? Doesn't make sense to me
Yeah,
unless
I
he
agree.
wasn't faking it.
I
And the
agree.
Chicago police just completely screwed up everything. And also, one of the detectives who investigated this, he has his own problems where he literally was forced to quit his job because he had fallen asleep at the wheel of his cop car because he was drunk or something. What the hell? Just like, I don't know, man. I don't think he did it. I don't think he faked it. I think he was attacked that night. It I highly, highly recommend anyone who is either an Empire fan, who
Right.
remembers the story, watch the documentary. Your mind might be blown like mine was. Anyway, that's basically like the gist of it. I mean, I can't
Hmm.
really talk about Wednesday because some of us didn't watch it,
Yeah.
but without spoiling it, I know there's mixed reviews on the
Mm-hmm.
season so far, um, and how people kind of feel about it. I personally enjoyed it, personally, but the first episodes that we got, um, so yeah, we'll see kind of how it goes.
Do you think it's better than the first season?
No, no,
Mm,
not
okay.
even close. Um, it definitely the final episode, like the fourth episode, it got good with that one. Um, but it was like a slow start. But yeah. Um, there's another one also, sorry. There's another show I forgot to mention that I watched. Fatal Seduction. This is a show that's based um out of South Africa. It's mainly South African or African actors. Um, this was the second season. The show's way too convoluted for me to explain what this is all about. Um, but let's just say a woman gets into an affair with a younger man, finds out this man is actually like one of her students because she was like a lawyer, but she was a teacher, and she finds out like he was one of her students, and she's like, oh, but she like continues the affair. She is married. Hudson's most likely cheating on her too, or he, I mean, was, but anyway, it gets really messed up. Her daughter ends up starting to have a relationship with the same man. It was a whole thing, but that's nothing in comparison to what the real situation is. He was basically like planting himself into the family for a reason, and it had to do with a case that involved his father. That is all I'm gonna say because trust me, it's way too convoluted to get into. But this show is so good. I mean, it's a lot of sex, but the second season not as much. But it's more like closing up like what happened in the first season. It was so good. So good. The show is I don't think there'll be another season just based on how it ended, but it
Mm-hmm.
it was a really good show. But yeah, like I said, it was a good show. Great ending. Or satisfying ending, I should say, but um yeah, yeah.
Okay. Right.
Um okay, so before we kind of head into the other things that are coming in September on Netflix,
Mm-hmm.
let's talk Monster coming out in October. Coming
Mm.
October 3rd.
I also want to know your opinion on that. Like, what do you think Netflix doing? I think they're doing like a whole entire monster series, like
Yeah,
based on
yeah.
these like
I mean, we're in
criminals.
that
Like,
already. We're in the
yeah,
monster series already. We're
yeah.
on the third one.
Oh, is
We're
it
in
the
it.
third one?
Is this the third
Oh,
one?
that
Yeah,
what was
Dahmer, then the Menendez
Dahmer? Oh,
brothers, and now this one.
okay, right.
Yeah,
I
so this
forgot
is the
those
third
are
one.
okay. So those okay. This
The
is the
fourth one's
okay.
already teed up. We know they're doing Lizzie Borden, um,
Mm,
which is an episode I know I've said we'll probably do one day.
Mm-hmm.
Um, probably probably a good idea because something tells me it's not going to be true to form because at least right now one of the I don't know if it's like a fan made picture of the Lazy
Mm-hmm.
Borden one or if it's actually like
Didn't
Netflix is doing this.
didn't didn't they do Ted Bundy? Is
No,
that part of it? No. Oh,
no.
okay. Okay, it's
The
not.
first one was Dahmer.
Oh, okay.
Um, they did do a Ted Bundy movie, but had nothing to do with Monster.
Okay.
Um,
Oh, right.
but anyway, the Lizzie Borden one, like one of the pictures I already saw, kind of like I guess
Uh-huh.
teasing it, quote unquote.
Uh-huh.
It's already like not accurate, and I'm like, why? Why? I don't want to get into the story itself right now, but let's just say she was accused of killing her father and her stepmother with an axe. Like from 40's time, blah, blah, blah. You know the rhyme. Anyway,
Uh-huh.
um, and it's already like factually inaccurate because I'm like, why is the mom and the stepmom and the dad in the same damn room together? That's not true to form. That's not what happened. He died on the couch and she was I think they found her on the floor of her room, if I'm correct. Anyways, just being picky. Um, but yeah, anyways, that's coming. I believe they said they're gonna start filming that in 2026. So I'll probably get that one around the same time as this one, next year. But that one I'm really interested in. I kind of wish they were doing the Super one first. But anyways, the Ed Gein one. Do you know anything about Ed Gein?
No, I know nothing about. I had never heard of
Well,
what is he like? How
well,
what did he do?
buckle up, buttercups. Here we go.
Don't just give me a because I don't want to be spoiled because you might spoil like the whole thing. Just give me a summary, a short summary.
It's really hard to just give you a short summary without potentially
Because
spoiling things, but
it's
let's just
gonna.
say monster, true to form. He is a damn monster, or was. But okay, I won't get into like his childhood or anything, but let's just say his childhood was an interesting one.
Mm,
Um, let's just say his mother was interesting. Um, if she was alive, I would kill her again. Um, because I feel like she created who he became.
mm,
Um, let's just say some of the decisions that he'll make or he didn't
mm,
make,
mm,
um, was absolutely insane as a response to his mother. I'll say that. I won't say exactly what, but
mm.
um, what do I say without spoiling anything? Um, have you seen the promo pictures? I need to look at it myself. Have you seen the promo pictures?
Yes, I've seen the promo pictures. He
All
has
right. You
a
see how
chainsaw.
he's lowering something
What's
on his face? You see
let
how
me
he's
see.
holding something around his face and he's lowering it down like it's a mask?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's skin. That's someone's skin.
that. Wow.
He made a goddamn skin suit. And I'm telling you, that's not even half of it.
I thought it was some
That's the
type of.
goddamn Cliff Notes.
I thought it was some type of mask that he just
Mm-mm.
rubbed. Oh, gee.
Skin.
Wow.
Leatherface, you know the character Leatherface?
He was inspired.
Ed Keen's inspired Leatherface.
So
You
when
ain't
was
prepared for Ed Gein, I'm telling you.
this guy? W- Was he in the 80s or was he in like
Oh
the
no, this
70s?
was like the 50s.
Okay, yeah, he was inspired then.
Yeah, this was yeah, Ed Gein was like the 50s. He was older. He was older when he was caught. He was older when he started doing anything.
Yeah, this is gonna be
Um
popular. I can see because like there's a
oh yeah,
lot
no,
of
Ed Gein, a
engagement here.
when you think serial killer,
Uh-huh.
Ed Gein is one of those ones that you think of. Like he's infamous. Which is why obviously he's getting he's part of the monster now. Um, but he's infamous. And when I heard they were doing Ed Gein, I'm like, yeah, that fucking fits. Monster? Yeah. I mean, Dahmer, monster, 100%. Menendez brothers, which we'll talk about them in our September bonus episode, because
Mhm.
I'm disappointed on many fronts right now when it comes to Menendez brothers, but monsters depends on how you believe. If you believe they killed their parents out of cold blood and just wanted their money, then yeah, they're monsters. If you believe they killed them because they were being sexually abused, then no, they're not monsters. Ed Gein, any way you split it, he's a goddamn monster. So he fits.
Mhm.
The thing for me with Lizzie Borden, which is will be the fourth one, again, it's very similar to the Menendez brothers. It depends
Mhm.
on how you believe. If you believe Lizzie Borden killed her father and her stepmother
Right.
for what appears to be no apparent reason, and yeah, she's a monster. And okay, I won't say anything else. Not right
Mhm.
now. But I almost gave it away. Um,
Mhm.
but if you believe that she didn't, then no, she's not a monster.
Mhm.
I won't say where I believe right now, but
Mhm.
um yeah, and that one, for me, I feel like we're going backwards in time because I kind of like we started with Dahmer in the 90s or well,
Mhm.
70s into the 90s. Then we went to Menendez, who were in the 80s. Now Gein is in the 50s. Lily Borden's like the late 1800s. Like we're going backwards, man. So it'll be really interesting for that. But like, yeah, no, Ed Gein, straight up monster. The other thing that I have issue with, I'm sorry, I'm
Mhm.
gonna go off here. The person they have playing Ed Gein,
Mhm.
I can't remember his name right now. He's too hot. He's too. You make me think, huh, Ed Gein, huh? He's cute. No, Ed Gein was a disgusting human. He was disgusting. He wasn't good looking. Like, you want to look at an actual picture of Ed Gein, caution, you're most likely going to see his skin suit. But if you want to look at a picture of Ed Gein, he doesn't look anything like this guy. Where did we find this great looking man to play Ed Gein? Because I don't get it. Ed Gein is nasty, clearly. He was awkward. He had, you know, no experience with women, none of that. Like, he wasn't like, people didn't draw, like, were like, oh my God, Ed Gein, I want to go date him. No, he was awkward. No one wanted anything to do with him. This person playing Ed Gein is like the complete opposite.
Mhm.
Doesn't make any sense to me.
He looks similar. Like if you like,
He's
I
not,
guess that this is
man's
just
too
a
cute.
Photoshop picture of him,
Man's
isn't
too
it?
cute. Man's way too cute to be playing Ed Gein. Way too cute to be. And
Mhm.
also feels a little too young. Unless they're gonna really ugly him up and make him like really old looking, then maybe we can figure
Awesome.
that out.
You haven't seen the trailer. This is just I think
No, I
the
haven't seen the
poster is
trailer yet.
just Photoshop because like this is just like Photoshop. It could have just been like altered and etc. All
The
that
person
stuff. So
I
like
see in like when I think Ed Gein, because there is
uh
a side by side picture that they did with the
huh
actor and Ed
uh
Gein,
huh uh huh
and like I don't I don't get it. I mean, maybe it's just because like I know how disgusting this man is, which just
huh
makes him completely just not even anywhere close to attracted
mhm,
to him at any because ill. Um, maybe that's it because
mhm,
I don't get people thinking Ted Bundy was good looking. I'm like, where? How?
mhm,
What? He's ugly
mhm,
to me. Now, the thing that I can understand with even Ed Gein and Ted Bundy is they were unassuming in different ways. Ed Gein was unassuming because there's no way that he would do what he did. And like I said, I gave you the cliff notes, didn't give you all of it. Um, like there's no way he would do what he did. Whereas like Ted
mhm,
Bundy, like he's smart, he's educated, he actually, you know, had somewhat of a social life. He had a girlfriend who had a child. Like he was a chameleon, right? So I can
Okay.
understand that, but good looking, I don't get it. Not when it comes to people like that.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, we have to see a trailer, so
Yeah, I know.
yeah,
I'll have to see a trailer and I'll see how I'll go from
yeah.
there. But um, that's something because again, like the monster
Mhm.
stuff has been discussed ad nauseum now for about a year.
Yeah.
That Ed Gein was coming. This was the next one. Here's
Mhm.
who. And then when it came out of who the actor was, like I've known about the actor now for about, I don't know, 8 months, who the
Mhm.
actor was going to be. I'm like, what? I don't get it. And that was kind of the
Uh,
consensus for everybody is like, this man is way too good looking to be playing Ed Gein. Like, no. But we'll see. We'll see.
From the creators that on Dahmer and Monsters. Interesting.
We'll
Okay, yeah,
see how it
yeah.
goes.
This
But
is
yeah.
probably like this is probably like a very popular series as it goes.
Oh
I wonder
yeah.
if they're gonna
Dahmer did
do.
really well. Menendez Brothers did really well too.
uh,
Menendez Brothers, I think, also did really well because it created um this frenzy of people who wanted to help them get out of prison. They should be out of prison, which I was one of those people. I'm like, yeah, let's get them out. And honestly, I'm still one of those people. But like I said, I'll kind of mention it briefly here. They were denied parole for reasons we'll talk about later. But they were denied parole, both of them. And that's really sad because I'm like, I believe they killed their father and mother because they were being sexually abused.
mhm,
I believe that. Um, do I think like, they should have killed them? No. But am I also like really sad that like Jose Menendez is dead? No. He was a monster, not just to his kids, but to others as well. So maybe that makes me evil, but I think the world's a better place without him in it. Now, Kitty, that's a whole other thing. But like their mom is a whole separate situation because
mhm.
maybe they could have spared her. I don't know. I They should have, but whatever. Um, so depends on how that response after it was absolutely insane. Season was being talked about for months afterwards because of everything that was
Mm,
going on with their um court proceedings and everything. So Ed Gein will be a bit different. I think there'll still be this popularity that may be similar to Dahmer because
mhm.
Gein, he's dead. He's been dead for decades. Um, so it'd be kind of interesting, I guess, to kind of see the response from Ed Gein series season. It'll be interesting.
Yeah,
We'll see. I hope they
yeah.
stay true to form though. Like don't make this stupid. Who knows though when we're dealing with what's his
Netflix.
face? No, not Netflix. Oh God, what is his name? Sorry. I need to remember his name here.
Are you talking about a writer or are you talking about
No, the
the actor?
creator. Same guy who
Yeah.
created Glee too. I just searched that, it'll come up. Glee. I'm sure people are like screaming right now.
Mhm, mhm.
Ryan Murphy. There we go.
Mm.
It's a hit or miss when it comes to Ryan Murphy, so
Right.
we'll see.
Okay. All right.
Oh, but let's kind of just go over what's to
So,
come in September though, because again,
mhm,
like we said,
mhm,
that's not coming until um October. So
mhm,
there's this one called House of Guinness. So if you're interested in that, because clearly that's about Guinness, that's coming on September 25th. Um, yeah, Dublin, 1868. The Guinness family patriarch is dead, and his four children, each with dark secrets to hide, hold the brewery's fate in their hands. That actually sounds pretty interesting. I think it's a show, not a documentary. So that sounds interesting. Anyway, um, if you've been watching Love is Blind UK, which I have not watched it yet, um, it appears that the reunion is coming on Sunday, actually after we've watched this, so, or did our episode. So
Mhm.
yeah. Um, One coming on September 25th called Wayward. A small town cop suspects that the local school for troubled teens and its dangerously charismatic founder may not be all it seems. The Guest, coming on September 24th. A couple are trying to save their marriage after an affair are thrown into turmoil when a
Mhm.
mysterious woman from the wife's past shows up at their home. Cool, that sounds interesting. There's one called, I think it's called Queen Mantis. This looks
Mhm.
like it might be a Korean show. This one's coming out it says Friday. I don't know if it's September 5th Friday or what, but
Mhm.
it says to stop a copycat criminal, a cop must work with the serial killer behind the original murders, his mother, who he spent his life trying to forget. Oh, interesting. Um, Black Rabbit. This is a limited series that's coming on September 18th. A rising star restaurateur is forced into New York's criminal underworld when his chaotic brother returns to town with loan sharks on his trail. The second part of season 2 of Wednesday is coming on September 3rd. Mikel, get on it. So that's coming up. Um, Love Con Revenge coming on September 5th.
Yeah,
Victim.
I'll probably watch the second part. So I'm waiting for like usually when it comes to series, I want to watch like the full thing. I don't want to watch like the full
No, you can get
So,
a little bit of a break. I don't mind the break a little bit. So,
sure.
um, anyway, the Love Con Revenge. Victims of romance scams try to reclaim their lives with help
Mhm.
from the Tinder swindler target, Cecile. Well, that's a name because she's okay. Anyways,
Didn't they make a documentary on the tennis swindler?
yes, yes, but it's about the one of the targets is
Oh,
helping
okay.
people.
Right. Right,
Um,
right.
I think it's the blonde chick. If you remember the blonde chick, one of them.
Uh-huh.
It's the one that's doing it. Um, Flashpoint, like the show. Okay, well that's coming on Netflix if anyone's
Flashpoint.
interested in
That
that.
sounds like something like from a comic book movie.
No, it's not. You've never heard
The
of
Flash?
Flashpoint?
The Flash?
No,
Oh,
Flashpoint.
oh,
It's a cop
Flashpoint.
show.
No, I never heard of it.
Okay. Well, anyways, that's coming onto Netflix if you're interested in watching that if you've never watched it before. Um, Beauty and the Bester, whatever this may be. This is a limited series again coming on September 12th. Did renowned Dr. Nandi Fia get embroiled in Tabo Bester's prison break? This chilling documentary series examines um the ties that bound them. Um, Strange Frequency, Taiwan Killer Hospital. This sounds like it might be a ghost adventure type of situation. This one's coming so the tomorrow after this is aired. As part of a live streamed ghost hunt, 7 celebrities explore a decaying haunted hospital and discover a demonic evil worse than they ever imagined. Not for me, but hey, someone else could enjoy that. The Dead Girls limited series coming out September 10th, based on George somebody's novel
Mm,
name I'm not going
mm,
to try and attempt. The series tells how the Balladaro sisters built a brothel empire and became merciless killers in 1960s Mexico. There's a live event coming on September 13th. It looks like a fight of some sort. Anyways, one of the Trolls movies is coming on September 16th. If you're interested in
mm,
watching that.
mm,
Um, Love is Blind France is coming. I won't be watching it, but if you're interested, that's coming on September 10th. Don't think I need to explain that. I think we all know what the Love is Blind is. AKA Charlie Sheen is coming on September 10th. Um, So actor Charlie Sheen tells his story in this candid two-part documentary, tracing his dazzling Hollywood rise, tabloid
Mm.
topping fall, and road to recovery.
Oh, oh yeah,
I might be
I
interested to
remember.
watch.
Um, I
Um,
remember hearing that he's coming back with like some type of like documentary or something like that. So,
okay. Well, good for him.
mhm.
But
Winning,
what else is there? There is, it's kind of going through here. To
winning.
Watcher that's coming on, well, I think it's November 4th. After his
Mhm.
wealthy wife died, the man and his lover must spend 100 days with her preserved corpse in a remote villa to claim the inheritance. Yikes. Um, that I think is it. Yeah,
Hmm.
I think that's basically it. There's more coming. Currently there is actually one I didn't even know was coming out about Hurricane Katrina. That's just recently come out as we're recording. Um, so I mean, that's something I'll probably watch and talk about
Mm.
um for September.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
That's it.
All right. So this ends this episode of the Next Tape podcast. The Next Tape podcast is available on all podcast platforms. We also have a website called Tanika.
Next day podcast podpage.io.
And where else we at?
Facebook and Instagram are Next Take Podcast and Twitter, TikTok, and Blue Sky Next Take Pod.
And you can contact us on our email at mikeltanika@gmail.com. That is mikeltanika@gmail.com. So we talked about what we watch on Netflix this month. Uh Pretty much we talked about the three films. We also talked about a little bit on the range of actors and then what's to come on Netflix. So, well, sorry, the some actors who have range and some actors who have not range. And then yeah, then we just talked about what's the upcoming on Netflix, basically. Uh yeah, pretty much that's about it for this episode.
Hmm.
Anything you want to say or
Um, no, I mean, the only else I'll just kind of mention, I started watching Golden Palace. I don't
this?
mind it.
Oh, the Golden Girls.
Yeah, Golden Girls, Golden Palace. I've watched a few episodes of season one. Um, and I did get to that episode that you were talking about the racial stuff with
Mm-hmm.
um
So it's in that one. Okay.
yes. And it had to do with the Confederate flag.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty moving actually
Yeah.
to tell you the truth. But
Yeah.
um yeah. So I've enjoyed it so far. Taking a break from it a little bit is because it is really tough to watch it on YouTube because like it's so pixelated. Um, so I had to take a little bit of a break and come back to it. But
You're so
yeah.
used to the quality now
Yeah. So
compared to what it was.
at
Yeah.
least like Disney Plus has kind of fixed that a little bit where it
Mm-hmm,
gets
mm-hmm,
you can watch it very easily in today's world for Golden Girls. But because obviously Golden Girls wasn't a part of I think it was NBC if I'm correct.
mm-hmm,
Um it's not a part of that. It wasn't part of the Ever Golden Palace. It was on Lifetime.
mm-hmm,
So I don't know how I would get access to that besides YouTube or maybe buying it, but I'm not going to do that.
mm-hmm,
Um, so yeah, it's a tough watch because it's really badly pixelated. Um, like you can't even see their faces. Like it's watching a show in 2025 when it was aired in 1994 is real tough. But
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. All right. Okay.
that's it.
All right. So I'm Mikal, and
And I'm Shanika.
we're out until
Probably Thursday.
Thursday.
So tomorrow.
Thursday, guys. All right. Peace.
Bye.
Bye.